Hi, this is Jeff Thisted. I'm the guy with the microphone. You're listening to Every Car Has a Story with JoepeP and Dusty. So listen up. You're not going to want to miss any of this.
What's the word on the new cars from Chrysler Corporation? What's the word you hear?
Lean is the word for Dodge, the new lean breed of Dodge for 62. A long, lean hood, a clean rear deck, a new functional shape. Dead weight has been cut. No automotive fat to make the Dodge eat gas. What's left is road-hugging live weight that's easier for the engine to move. Dodge is probably the easiest handling, the best performing car you've ever driven. The excitement of simplicity, the new lean breed of Dodge from Chrysler Corporation.
Simplicity.
And they're simply beautiful.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Dodge dealer during October open house.
Good afternoon. This is JoepeP, and you're listening to Every Car Has a Story. With me is my trusty sidekick, Dusty, who knows the inner workings of, are you ready? Ready?
Yeah.
The 1951 Ford clock system.
Oh, boy. 1951 clock. How
Right.
about that? Those were wind-up clocks.
Well,
Later on, they got to be electric. But
Well,
originally they were wind-up clocks.
well, let's face it, none of them work.
Yeah, but
you
that's
know,
true.
it's like
That's true. And they were an extra. You had to pay like $25 or something for one of those clocks.
Talk more in the mic.
More in the mic?
Well,
Okay.
sorry. Okay,
There
there.
we are.
To
Hey,
our-
it's going to be a great show. We got a lot going on, a lot of car shows going on, lots and lots of announcements, lots to talk about. Joe, where do we start? Let's do this.
Let's
Let's
start.
start with this. Way back when,
Way back when, yes.
I'm holding up a shirt that Joe wore when he used to work for Esso.
That's
How
right.
about that?
Now, this was for our radio audience. This was
Yeah.
back in 1970. And gasoline back in the day was, 26 cents for
Yeah,
regular.
how about this? Yeah, that Esso.
SO and
How
the
about
official
that?
JoepeP thing. But you know
Yeah.
what the funny thing is there, Dusty, is that the material they used back in the 70s, it shrunk. I can't believe this. It used to fit me.
That's a nice shirt. How
But-
about that? You had a nice narrow jacket that went through that. Did you have a cap?
Had a cap,
Yeah,
said
yeah.
SO.
That's fantastic.
Used to have like a
That's great.
gray. Used to have like a grayish blue, like an Ike jacket.
Yeah.
You'd go out there, and of
Great
course, it's like
story.
when you're ready to have your lunch.
Yeah.
That's when all the cars would come in, and for a full tank of gas, you would get plaid stamps.
Yep.
Then you would get the Tiger tumbler glasses.
Oh, wow.
And
That's right. Put a tiger in your tank.
Right, and this is if you want to look this up, this
Yeah.
was on Livingston Avenue in North Brunswick,
Yep.
New Jersey, on Herman Road. So
Yeah.
it was Livingston.
And people used to have little tiger tails coming out their
well,
gas tank.
that was back in the like 1964, 65.
Yeah.
but you could still pick those things up.
That's great stuff. Well, I tell you what, last week, tell me we got, it's over 7,500 hits?
7,747 hits
Well,
as of
I
this
tell you what,
morning.
if you like the program, go ahead and share it with your friends. Talk about it because that gives us a chance to talk to more people and talk more about cars, Joe.
Oh, absolutely there. Hey, I got a quick question for Chris. We're looking at our monitor here, and I don't see a visual there.
It's up on mine.
It is.
It's probably just your Wi-Fi in there.
Oh, of course.
Where you
Now, I told you I had to put 50 cents into the phone. to
I
make
know.
it
It's
work,
always
but it-
details. Listen, car
It's always
shows.
one thing
We
or
got
another.
Cars and Coffee coming up Saturday.
Cars and Coffee on Saturday. That's over at the Point
Yeah.
on 17th and Independence in beautiful Wilmington,
And then
North
we've got
Carolina.
another car show coming up. Maybe we'll be doing a remote on this one, Joe, right here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Hold on. Let me get my notes here. There, I was talking to a Tristan Church.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, can you put this visual up? And there's going to be a great car show. It's at the Nevis first East Coast annual gathering at the Legion Sports Complex. 2148 Carolina Beach Road in Wilmington, North Carolina.
What kind of cars are going to be there? That looks like a Lexus.
They got a Lexus, so it's going to be, what I understand, it's going to be all types.
Oh, okay.
That's what I get out of it. I'm going to say it's more newer cars, but you know
right.
what? It's a family event. Get
Absolutely.
everybody out of the house.
Car
Come on
shows,
down.
Car shows are car shows. Well, today, Joe, everybody was saying they couldn't see what I looked like, so I took my hat off. I put it over here. This is my Naval Aviation tailhook cap. I'm a member of the infamous Tailhook Association. You remember those guys? They got in all kinds of trouble out in Las Vegas. But I wasn't there, so I'm not part of that group.
Always
Infamous,
positive news.
Positive news. Well, listen, let's talk about more car shows. We've got the 10th annual Chapin, South Carolina car show coming up on the 3rd of September. The 15th, we got the Clover Fall Festival in Clover, South Carolina. You got on the 12th annual Durham Labor Day. We've got a lot of Labor Day car shows coming up, Joe. So
Well,
this is time to do it. Well, lots and lots of stuff going on.
It's the end of the summer.
Yep.
Well, to me, I'm a diehard. Summer ends on September 21st. And I saw a post, and it said, is it too early to put up fall decorations? It's like, are you out of your mind? You know, it's and my son pointed out, there's a store somewhere here in Wilmington, and they got Christmas crap out already.
Yeah.
I mean, cut me a break. It's
Now you would know this. When do you put the white belt and white shoes away, Joe?
The white belt, white shoes. Well, if for some reason I wake up and it's 1974, I'm all set. But those things went away a long time ago.
I'm sorry I missed that. Well, listen, tell us about our guest today.
Well, can I get a drink of water here?
Yeah, sure.
Wow. We have, this book is unbelievable. I've been following Charles Phoenix for a long time. I don't know if you can see that, but Charles is going to be on the entire show. He's got a treasure trove of places that your parents dragged you to when you were a kid.
I love that.
Well, the thing is that
I remember when I was a kid, I saw The Last Buffalo. It must have been one of the last buffaloes because there had to be another one.
Was it on nickel? Okay. But the thing is, it's like this. This book has here. I love this spread design. It's just wonderful. But now, when I was a kid, my parents we used to go to Wildwood, New Jersey.
Ah, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and now all these great buildings from the '60s and the late '50s are still around.
Yep.
And they're fixing them up now. Charles, he's out on the West Coast, and of course Disneyland. So he grew up with Disneyland being built and all the rides and attractions, and I want to hear more about that because this is information that I'm not aware of. But there's a lot of places that Charles visits that you can go and take your family, and that's what's really great.
It's
and
part of Americana.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like if you're going to a car show,
Yep.
check out maybe one of these great entertainment places are still around. Take the family there and get them out, you know.
Real Americana, and if you don't know they're there, you can't take your kids and you miss out. So there we go.
Remember, folks, if the building's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's not going to come back, or it's around the corner now. So, but we got a great show. So Charles is going to be on the first part of the show and the second part.
Yeah.
And he sent me this wonderful book. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for a great book for the holidays, anytime, this is a book. Anybody who loves retro America, Charles Phoenix is the ambassador of Americana.
Well, one of my favorite parts of the show, Joe, is to find out around the world who's listening to us.
Yes. Around the world and
Yes.
through the nation. Well,
Yes.
you know what? I want to concentrate more. We got a lot of people around the world, as you hear every week. But we have our good pal Kayla Rain Dancer out in Montana. They got snow up in the mountains
Did they
already.
really?
Crazy.
Oh,
Salt Lake City, Utah, Las Vegas, Nevada, Los Angeles, California, out in Washington State, Oregon, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New
Fantastic.
York, Vermont,
Vermont.
Maine. Yes, Delaware.
Wow.
We're conquering the United
Yeah.
States slowly. Florida, Vic Piano in Florida. Hey Vic, how you doing there? Vic is the godfather of classic cars. Where else? Texas, Oklahoma.
They're car guys everywhere.
Our friends up in Canada, our friends in Mexico, Brazil, Argentina.
Wow.
Atlantis. I can't believe Atlantis is calling in. You know, it's I get a letter and it was soaking wet. You know.
Well, listen, all you folks that are listening to the program or watching the program, if you get a car story or a car question, send us an email. Everycarhasastory.net. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear about your car, what you're doing, what's going on out there.
Right. Just go to the contact page. But first, look through the whole entire website. It's a lot of fun. You can read about our guests. It comes out every Monday night. And, and then we have great things like our friend Angela with Angel's Garage.
Yep.
The car is all set.
Hey, I went onto our website, and you can look at the website, you can see the car, and it tells you where to go ahead and buy a ticket. So I went out and bought a couple of tickets. Very, very easy. You just put the information in. Tickets are $10 a piece, or you can buy 6 of them and you get a discount, or 8 and you get a discount. So get on there and try to win that car.
$10. What's $10 nowadays? $10 is the new $1 bill.
And that's a great car. Boy, I'd love to have that car. Bring back lots of memories. Well, I tell you what, Joe.
Good ones? I hope they were good.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing bad now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Joe, I'm ready for our Stump Joe question.
Stump Joe question, yes. I'm ready.
All right. You're familiar with the Italians, right? And Italian car companies.
Yeah, yes, okay.
Okay, all right. And one of my very favorite Italian car companies is Ferrari, right?
Okay, yes.
So let me ask a very simple question and a follow-up question. 2-part question, all right?
I wish my Ferrari friends could phone in right now.
Two-part question. The first part of the question is, what is the most popular Ferrari color? The second part of the question is in Italian, what is that color called?
Ah.
How about that?
Very good. Well, I know the answer. I know the answer there.
All right.
So, but the music is nice.
I like the music.
Soothing.
I like the music.
Playing the trumpet.
Yeah.
I play trumpet and marching band.
All right. You're delayed answering the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Well, my first answer is I know Ferrari never made a plaid color.
No, they
car.
didn't. They didn't.
So the most popular is red.
You got that right.
And the second part, is I'll probably say the Spanish version, rojo.
That's close, but there's a second part to that.
Rojo Brighto.
Bright red.
Right.
Well, a little Italian lingo right there.
Okay, I tried.
That was pretty close. It's actually called Rosso Corosso, which means racing red. Racing red. That's the most popular. And coming on very strongly behind that is now a yellow. Yellow is right behind the Ferrari red.
Yes, and I've seen them. Very stunning. Very stunning.
I love those yellow Ferraris. And of course, one of my very favorite Ferrari colors is called a Testarossa. You know what Testarossa means?
That means more cheese.
No, Testarossa means redhead. So when they say, Testarossa.
Well, they're trouble. They're
big
trouble. Redheads are
redheads.
trouble.
Stay away from redheads. Yes, big trouble.
Big trouble
Yes.
there.
So there you go. Great answer. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Great
thank
answer.
you
Very
there.
good.
It's,
Yes.
well, we try.
Yes, we do.
I mean, there's tens of thousands of automobiles out there, and to know everything. And
That's pretty
I'll be
good.
at a car show, and somebody will come up to me, and they'll ask a question, and I would never hear the car company, or I had very little knowledge. And they go, "What? You don't know it?" And it's like, well, but I'm eager to learn.
Well, I tell you, with this phenomenal background and talent, if you get a car show coming up, you'd like to have a couple of personalities step in and help you with the car show, give us a call. All right, we'd love to talk to you. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, we
It
work
only
cheap.
cost you a couple of bucks.
Couple
right?
bucks,
couple
of hot dogs,
there you go.
hamburgers.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to work with you.
And speaking of events, there's going to be in November 9th and 10th,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be I was talking to Mark Muskowitz, and he's the head judge over at the Trump Charlotte Concourse de Elegance.
Oh, boy.
And that will be November 9th and 10th. And they're going to have automobiles there that you would see in museums.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give away everything because it's. I want
Well,
you
he's
guys
going to be on the
jewel.
show, isn't he?
He's going to be on the show
Okay.
October 25th.
All right.
He's going to talk about it. He's going to be on the entire show. So this would be great. So if you have any questions, go to our website, everycarhasastory.net. Go to the contact page, send us an email, and I read them all.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about the cars. He said you might have some Howard Hughes cars.
Howard Hughes,
yeah.
Fatty Arbuckle.
Wow.
And, you know, it's like Fatty Arbuckle's car is like, wow.
Really?
I mean, this it's purple.
Oh.
It was a purple car. So you get a purple car that looks like purple.
Yeah.
But with red spokes and white walls. Wow.
The great thing about these shows is every car is a story.
Every
you talk
one.
about and they have incredible stories.
Just like the
Wonderful
car
stories.
your dad's Woody Wagon.
Oh,
that
yeah,
caught
yeah.
on
I was reading
fire.
an article about that. You know, interesting enough, in 1940, right before Pearl Harbor, when they stopped building cars, I guess in 41 and 42, they saved all the parts from that production year. So when they started building cars again in 46 and 47, basically that's what those cars were, 46, 47 / 1941 Ford. So I believe he probably had a 46 or 47 Ford Woody station wagon, which he absolutely loved. And of course, we talk about it all the time, caught on fire, burned to the ground. Great stories about that car. The doors would fall off. The heater didn't work, but you loved that car.
Wow.
Great stories.
Well, we have our guest on there, and Chris, Maestro, please. There we go. I hope. It is an honor to have our guest, Mr. Charles Phoenix, the ambassador of Americana. Charles, how are you today?
You guys are cracking me up with that music.
Oh, I'll share with you later. I looked, I'd say over an hour, just different keywords, and it's like I got to find this music that suits what I see on Facebook and what I see in your videos and your presentations, and I hope I nailed it because it was like this is, to me, I think you should have the Charles Phoenix dinette section tables that come out, have that licensed out. I think you would be a perfect spokesman for that.
Great.
You
book.
are right. You are right.
Right,
We need
right.
to find a manufacturer that can manufacture those.
My parents had a dinette set from the 50s, and it had a red stripe on the left and a red stripe on the right, and it was like a dull gray. And those chairs, you could sit in those chairs all night. And matter of fact, my neighbor down the street, Ann, has one, and it's yellow, that pale yellow and green that was really popular. But enough about
Well,
dinettes.
you know what? I mean, we might as well get it out in the open. They're national treasures at this point. Those 1950s dinette sets, the chrome dinette.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. People love those.
Well, we've got so many categories to talk about. We've got theme parks and world fairs, monorails and wienermobiles, hotels, motels and restaurants, driving girls, mermaids, dinosaurs, space age show cars. Where do you want to start?
Well, the
You're
first
talking
thing.
about some of the subjects I cover in my new book.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Americana.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Where do we begin? I mean, Americana is kind of, endless, really. And I've dedicated my life to, going in search of it and seeking it out and finding it, east, west, north, and south. I'm based in Los Angeles, but I travel all over the United States. And it kind of all really kicked into gear when I started collecting other people's old Kodachrome slides about 25
Wow,
plus
there you
years
go.
ago. And I started doing these retro slideshows live on stage and showing other people's old slides, not making fun of them, but like revering,
Right.
the world they were living in and just how amazing, like the cars and the architecture and the clothes and all this, places they went. And it kind of just evolved into there, but it kind of really got started because I was raised on a used car lot. So my first obsession in the realm of Americana are classic cars. Mostly the ones that I really go for are late 50s, early 60s, the Fend cars.
Right. I remember seeing a photograph of you, and it was a 62 Dodge, or was it a Chrysler?
You're probably thinking about my '59 Dodge, yeah.
Right.
Two-tone
You have long hair
convertible
back
that
in the
looked
time.
Like a car and a rocket ship had a baby.
Right. Now, was that a car that you just picked up back then? Back in the days in the '70s, those cars you could pick them up for a song.
Yeah, well, cars only
Well,
lasted about
yes
4 or 5
and no,
years. So.
yes and no. I mean, this was a Dodge convertible, a '59 Dodge convertible,
Oh.
big rocket ship tail fins. It was
Yeah.
two-tone pink and coral. I found it in the parking lot of the local Sears store, and I basically, later years went on, and I was like trying to find it and go back and find the Sears store had closed, and so I had to play detective to find the old lady that had the car and had bought it new, and I finally located her, and it turned out the car was in her garage, and I knocked on her door, and she said, "I've been waiting for someone just like you to come along." So that was in the '80s.
Right.
I mean, these
Great.
cars were rare when they were new.
Yes.
And anyway, I kept it 5 years, and stupidly sold it. But anyway, yeah, it's fun. I've collected about a couple hundred classic cars over the years,
Oh, wow.
and I'm really, really dedicated to the preservation of them. And I like low mileage original and restored
Yes.
cars. That's the kind I've always gone for.
Hey, Charles,
At this point,
we're having a little problem.
yeah,
Charles, we're having a little problem.
What?
Your phone sounds like it's going in and out.
It does.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, are
this
you using a
better?
speaker? Are you on a speakerphone right now?
I'm in my car.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, that sounds
Is
good.
that better?
That's better. We don't want you to get
Are-
in an accident out in L.A.,
Well, tell us about some
No,
of the cars
I'm sitting still.
Oh,
Oh, that's fine. Tell us about some of the cars that you've owned.
Well, gosh, I've owned so many. I mean, most of them all have tail fins, which I love.
right.
All
Bravo.
American cars. As I said, I go for low mileage, original, unrestored cars
Yes.
as much as possible. My latest acquisitions are a '59 Plymouth Sport Fury,
Oh,
and
wow,
you
that
can
is a
see
beautiful
pictures
car.
of that on my Instagram.
Yeah.
yep.
And then I just got a '61 Plymouth Fury, which is a really rare car and really
Yes.
bizarre looking.
I
And,
had a,
I
my
travel
dad
all
had a
over the
brand
United
new
States.
'60 Sport Fury convertible, which is the first car I drove. And those are a great car, and they're very collectible, very, very, very much so.
Very collectible.
Yeah.
And they're worth they're worth a lot.
Worth a
Are
lot.
we live on the air? or is
We're
it taped?
live.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
live on.
yeah.
Well, we're live on Facebook, and this show will be broadcast on radio on Saturday afternoon at 2:00, and it's also will go worldwide radio also. So
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So Charles,
I'm getting feedback, like massive amount of feedback. So it kind of makes it hard to talk.
Okay. Our producer just told us it's like we have 2 minutes. So what we're going to do is our producer Chris is going to call you back in a few moments, and for the second part of the show. Is that okay?
That's fine.
And then we'll talk some more about the other cars that you've owned, because they're fabulous cars. Love to talk about them.
And ladies
And I'd love to talk about my new book, Addicted to Americana.
well,
We'll
we'll
get into
dedicate
that,
the
too.
whole
Yep.
the second part. We'll do the whole thing, and I love the section that you have about Miss Belvedere. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's to me this book is a national
Yeah,
treasure.
yeah.
And that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Charles Phoenix on the phone. He'll be coming back a little bit later, and we have Jesse from Angel's Garage. He'll be
Yep.
talking about the 1968 Corvette that's going to New York and
Yep.
for the Peace Jam raffle.
Yep, we want to talk about our sponsors here.
Well,
Very quickly.
we got if you could do one.
All right, let's
You know,
talk
let's do
about one of
one.
our favorites, Manifest Design, 200 North Front Street. You can see in one of the whales over there by Joe some of the very special things that are there. It's North Carolina furniture design criteria. If you have a new home or a home that needs to be looked at as far as design criteria, they're available. It's a wonderful place, 910-352-2326. Joe, we always say it's a vacation for your eyes, and it's definitely a destination from Wilmington.
That's right there. And after that, we'll be right back after station identification, as they say in radio land there. And for you folks on Facebook, share this post with your car pals. That's what we're here for. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Every Car Has a Story with Joe Pep and Dusty on the Big Talker 106.7 FM in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. All right, we're back here. This is JoepeP. You're listening to Every Car Has a Story. With me is my sidekick, trusty sidekick, Dusty. We're coming to you Facebook Live, and for our radio listeners, it's 106.7 FM in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina, and we can be heard on worldwide internet radio. And but other than that, I'm giving the hand signal, so people watching me, it's like I'm trying to tell Chris, we can hear you from out here. So, and remember, pick up milk, eggs, and some lasagna. Okay, so.
Because without our sponsors, we wouldn't be on the air. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, send us an email. Everycarhasastory.net. We'd love to talk about your products on the air. You have a tremendous following, but Manifest Design is a very, very unusual store. It's called the Jewel of Downtown Wilmington. It is a destination store. It has so many fascinating things, both for men and women. Interior design criteria. It has lots of unusual things for gifts for men. And just stop in there because veterans get a discount. And Connie is a delightful lady. Love to
Just
talk to
delightful.
you. Absolutely delightful. And come in and browse the store. 200 North Front Street, 910-352-2326 or 910-515-1333. Joe.
That's right there. And next we're going to talk about Hell's Kitchen. And do we have a graphic up for Hell's Kitchen there? Maybe? No? Yes? Oh. This is what I love about live. It's you fly by the seat of your pants there. But Hell's Kitchen, we're going to talk about Hell's Kitchen, a great restaurant here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hell's Kitchen is the former film set at Dawson's Creek and is now Wilmington's premier sports pub, featuring every major package seen on 11 HD TVs and a huge projection screen. Huge. Enjoy our food and drink specials while cheering on your favorite team to victory. Hell's Kitchen was voted Best Wings 4 years running, and also a large section of burgers, pub food, seafood, salads, wraps, vegan options. Thank goodness for vegan options. You know, if it wasn't for the vegans, I remember that war. But anyway, that's another
vegan
story.
war?
The vegan wars. Kick back at Hell's with a frosty beer or tantalizing mixed drink from our fully stocked bar. Hell's Kitchen has over 80 bottled beers, domestic and imported beers, draft beers, from the most popular to locally brewed draft favorites. But wait, there's more. There's plenty to do at Hell's Kitchen. Monday and Thursday, exercise your cranium. Cranium. Is that the right word?
Cranium.
Okay,
Cranium.
thank you.
Yes.
With trivia from Hell's. This man ended up in hell. Who was he? A. Adolf Hitler. Anyway, so Hell's
that's a heck of a trivia. Who ended up in hell?
God.
That's going to be a great one. Yes.
Who's the one that keeps the records on this? Hell's also features Dollar Taco Tuesdays. So you college kids, tell mom you don't have to worry about going hungry. You're going to hell. Hell's Kitchen.
That's great.
I was just a humble automotive
all I want to
illustrator.
tell you is that they have all the NFL games. I'm going to be there every Sunday drinking Bloody Marys. So,
Okay,
right, Joe?
okay.
So where is it located? Give me a telephone
Okay. So Hell's Kitchen is located in, everybody got a pencil? How about a piece of paper? Don't draw on the kitchen table because then your wife will not like that very much. It's located at 118 Princess Street in downtown Wilmington,
That's the place.
North Carolina. Give them a call, 910-763-4133. So go to hell. Go to Hell's Kitchen. I'll tell you, it's the best thing for your stomach.
And coming up in October, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have the car clubs come in, and we're going to have car trivia night, which is going to be very special. It's going to be a lot of fun, and maybe even one night we'll have the car clubs against Joe and Dusty.
Okay,
So,
and well,
car trivia.
talk about that. Now here is the man, the TV man, the man that is going to be on the new Deadwood Western show on HBO. Jesse Wilde. Jesse, are you on?
Hey.
There he is.
Hey.
Dusty.
How you doing there?
I'm looking for Hell's Kitchen, but I found out I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, you're in
South Carolina.
Well, you got to come to
You
Wilmington.
got to come to Wilmington.
You're like right church, wrong pew. And
I took the wrong bus.
Wow. So listen, Jesse, tell us what's going on with the Corvette car.
Whoa, the Corvette car, I'll tell you, it's almost ready for me to drive, but they won't let me. But anyway, we're getting it ready to ship out and end up in New York City for the big raffle on September the 21st at the UN.
And I told Joe we went online on our website, everycarhasastory.net. We went right to the car entry section. It was very easy. You go and log in there, and you can buy your tickets for the car. And as we get closer to the show, we'll find out which station is going to be carrying it so we can see who the winner is.
That's right. It'll be really exciting. And you're going to be on the Today Show. And Angela did a spot. And she was wearing our T-shirts out in the desert. And that was pretty wild. No pun intended.
So the car is heading to Las Vegas now as we speak, or is it going to be heading there soon?
It's going there very soon. It's going to be actually at Chevy dealers.
Out in Colorado.
In Denver.
Yep.
Right.
Good.
John Elway.
John Welby. Yep.
Well, thanks to them, they're helping us all out. But also something else is ramping up real good.
Okay, ramping. Let's hear it.
Ramping. Deadwood. We're getting ready to go on set in October, and I'm getting ready to get my wardrobe next week.
All right.
And we're on our way.
Well, tell me very quickly, where is that filmed?
Where is it filmed?
Yeah.
It's actually filmed in Santa Clarita.
Okay. It's filmed on location. Do you have a set outside, or is it in a film studio?
It's all outside.
Oh, wow.
And the buildings, when you walk inside, you're inside. You're not going through a wall like a front.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's great. Well, Jesse. Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the studio that we're at is actually the Gene Autry Melody Ranch.
Oh, okay.
Gene Autry had some nice cars back in the day.
Yeah, Gene Autry. I'll be darned.
And the very first Western was filmed there with William S. Hart in 1915.
How about that?
I remember that. It was a cloudy day. So, Jesse.
I was a child then.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
great.
Jesse, thanks so much for phoning in. And looking forward to next week's call. I'm looking forward to seeing on television and with Deadwood. Much success. And with the Angels Garage, with this great sweepstakes car, $10 to win a 1968
Everycarhasastory.net. Go there and buy your tickets.
That's right. So all you car people, everybody that I'm friends with on groups out there in Facebook land, $10. Just open up your wife's purse and take it, or your husband's wallet.
And it's easy. A lot of these sites you go on, you try to buy a ticket. It's really this is easy. It'll take you just 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. So Jesse, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you next week, pal.
I thank you all, and happy trails.
Happy trails there.
Jesse.
Okay, that was Jesse Wild.
I want to talk very quickly, about Eddie's Hot Rod and Collision. The time goes so fast. We need a 3-hour show. We can't get everybody in because we just got so much to talk about. Eddie's Hot Rod and Collision, 5009 Carolina Beach Road, 910-833-5473.
Hi.
Restoration, collision, total restoration, engines, you name it. If you have a new car that got dinged, you can put it back better than new. I've seen some of his work. It's just unbelievable. And Joe, the Cobra is just about done. It's going to be going over for the final interior. You need to get some pictures of that car and put on the website and show what Eddie's done.
You got to send it to me.
I will send it to you next week. Yes, absolutely. Just thrilled. This guy is an artist, and his cars are so beautifully done. Nobody in town liked him. So Eddie's Hot Rod and Collision, 5009 Carolina Beach Road.
Right, and I'll tell you, it's if you can hear my voice, you can get that car trailer down here to North Carolina, get it worked on.
Yes.
So if you're in Chicago, Minnesota, California, the Aleutian Islands, it could be worked on. I just want to ask our producer there, are we ready for Mr. Phoenix? Mr. Phoenix is on the line. They're up. Charles Phoenix, the man, the ambassador of Americana. Charles, quick to the chase. Cut to the chase. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but let's talk about this terrific book of yours.
All right. Yes, it's called Addicted to Americana. Sick and kitschy American life and style. So it's kind of a combination of all of the Kodachrome I've been collecting for a very long time, combined with my road trips around the USA in search of classic and kitschy American life and style. So it's actual vintage color photos of a lot of things in a lot of places, and then kind of me going there and seeing how, what's it like now, and just kind of the things I find along the way. So, I'm an old car guy and all of that, and I like all that kind of stuff, and I love mid-century architecture and theme parks, and, I'm just looking for stuff that is, amazing and needs to be put up on a pedestal. So, and it's some of the stuff still exists in the book, and some of it doesn't, but it's kind of a combination of then and now, and a lot of treasures, American treasures, national treasures, as I call them.
Yeah, back in the 50s when you wanted a
1956 Astronome show car of the future. I don't know if you guys know what a Metropolitan is.
Yeah,
that little Nash Metropolitan, those little tiny compact cars from the 50s.
Sure do.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they made a space-age show car of the future version of one that appeared one time at the auto show in New York City in 1956. It's called the Astronome, and just by chance, I found it, and it lives in a little museum in North Hollywood, California.
Wow.
And that's in the book. The 56 Packard Predictor, which was another show car of the future that I found at the Studebaker Museum, is there.
Yeah.
I tell the story of when I went to General Motors and they let me sit in the 1951 LeSabre, which was a show car of the future.
I've seen a picture of that. That was beautiful.
This book also covers, Addicted to Americana covers, restaurants and roadside attractions and a lot of stuff that's still around. Actually, there's a couple things in the book that have closed. The book came out just, earlier this year, but, nothing lasts forever.
Well,
the Wienermobile is in the book. I love it all.
In the 50s, when you would take a road trip, even before they had the interstates, you'd see signs saying, "See the wonders of the world," and you'd see this, see that, big road signs, and it was part of the excitement of taking a trip with the family.
Oh, it was great. One of the
things
things
it still can be.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. The one thing I was with several weeks ago. I was watching CBS Sunday Morning News. It's an editorial program, and they have what you have dedicated in your book, Roadside America. And sadly, it's going to be closing because people are not going to this attraction anymore. And I remember going to this as a kid when I used to live in New Jersey. And I saw one part that's near and dear to my heart, that you went down to Wildwood, New Jersey. And being 64 years old, we used to go vacation like in the late 50s, and here's all these motels that are very 1960s retro, and it's everything that you have in your book. And to me, it's this book, Charles, you've captured everything, the feel. Kudos to the designer, the layout of it, all the stories, everything about Disneyland. Things that I never even knew about.
This is like, remember the program Charles Kuralt, and he'd come on Sunday morning and we'd travel around the country and he'd find interesting things and talk about it. This book is filled with those kinds of stories.
Oh my gosh. It's now, to our folks in radio, you got to get on to Facebook Live, because it's we're showing photographs of the book. And Charles, I mean, you really nailed it, and it's like your routine about showing slides. The one I saw that was funny was that people used to take pictures of people getting booze for Christmas, and I thought that was just hilarious, And here's Aunt Mildred, and she's got a big bottle of Smirnoff that she got for Christmas in 1958. But
you are so right. I'm working on a new book right now all about the holidays, so I'll have to put a couple of those pictures in. Moms and dads both love to get booze for Christmas. People still do, but I wanted to talk about what you just mentioned, Roadside America. That's in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
It's my favorite roadside attraction left, and I know it's for sale. I didn't know it was closing.
Yes.
But it's the third generation. It's the world's largest miniature village, and it's all indoors, and it's been there where it is now since 1953.
Wow.
And this is genuine genuine, authentic Americana. This is homespun and family run. The whole thing is homemade, handmade, and it's Roadside America in Pennsylvania. Go there. I'm begging your viewers that are anywhere near there, look it up and go there, because if this attraction closes, it is going to be a major loss to the heart and soul and the very fabric of our culture.
Now, where is that in Pennsylvania?
Another place you mentioned was Wildwood, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want genuine, authentic, a
Absolutely.
real American experience that is pre-corporate America, go to Wildwood, New Jersey. There you will stay in a classic motel with a big, beautiful vintage neon sign, and these places are beautiful and very well kept. And then you've got the whole boardwalk experience there.
Yes.
You can spend all day and all night walking up and down the boardwalk or riding on one of the trams. And the trams that are there are also national treasures. They're from the 1939 New York World Fair.
Wow, I never knew
The
that.
layers of time. This is what I go in search of: genuine, authentic, what's real in Americana, in America, what's unique, what's authentic, what's genuine. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm still finding. There's plenty of it out there. You got to think on your own and go find these places. My book, Addicted to Americana, is a great guide no matter what region of the United States you live in. There are places to go. So, take a trip on the time travel side and check out some of these vintage places.
One of the
There's
things
stuff everywhere, all over the United States.
Charles, one of the things I have to ask you, and this is well documented, and for someone that lives on the East Coast, looking at photographs of Disney when it was being built and it was like half open, there was one part of your book where it was the, now forgive me, I didn't write this down, it was the rocket and it had the TWA logo.
Oh, yes.
And they saved them, and they're in a hangar somewhere, right?
Well, that's quite a story. You're talking about the TWA rocket to the moon, which was in Tomorrowland at Disneyland when it was built in 1955. TWA sponsored the rocket. In 1967, Disneyland bulldozed theirs for the new Tomorrowland, but they'd actually built two in 55. One went to TWA headquarters in Kansas City. Well, TWA headquarters in Kansas City put it on their roof in 1955, and in 1964, when they moved to New York City, they took it off the roof in Kansas City, and it went to a motor home manufacturing facility way out in the burbs in Kansas.
Wow.
And it stayed there for decades. And then recently, I was in Kansas City to go find it, and quite by accident, before I got to discover where it was, it had been moved to the Airline History Museum in Kansas City.
Oh,
which
thank
is
goodness.
Amazing museum of airplanes and airline
See,
memorabilia
I didn't even
stuff.
know that existed in Kansas
just
City.
As I said before, every city has this stuff.
Boy.
Look for old museums and old roadside attractions and places that have been around a while. I love to go places, restaurants or fast food stands or soft serve stands and all these bowling alleys and miniature golf courses and all these kind of places that have been around for a while. When you walk in the door, you ask yourself, what decade are we in?
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I'm looking for time-honored attractions, time-honored Americana with heart and soul.
Now, Charles, how does someone
it's
get a
little
hold of
outside
you?
of the box by today's standards, this stuff, but go experience some genuine, authentic, real Americana.
Charles, if someone has a lead for you, okay, because
Yes.
it's this is how I discover a lot of our guests that come on. Every car has a story. If they have a great lead for you, how do they get a hold of Charles Phoenix?
I'm on Facebook. You can look me up, Charles Phoenix, on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. It's _Charles Phoenix on Instagram. I post just about every single day on both Facebook.
Oh, yes, you
and
do.
Instagram.
Yes, you do.
I also have a website, which is charlesphoenix.com, where you can see all my upcoming events, mostly live retro slideshows on stage, where I show vintage images, and I, talk about all kinds of stuff having everything to do with Americana, car culture, and fast food culture, and at theme parks and tourist attractions, and roadside America, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, no subject is off limits. And, You can come to one of my events if I happen to be in your town. Most of them are around Southern California, but I do travel occasionally.
Yes.
And lots of stuff going on. I've got a line of clothing that's vintage inspired, his and hers. It's called Sir Charles the Phoenix.
Great.
That's also
great
available
stuff.
on my
great
website.
Stuff.
And you can buy my new book, Addicted to Americana. I'll ship you a signed copy, and we
wonderful.
ship worldwide.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Charles, it's being a kid of the 50s. I just wish I could appreciate everything, because it's like when you're 5 years old, you really don't know the world you're in. It's you go play, you watch your black and white TV, and then you go to bed. And then you see this book, and then everything just floods back. And for our radio audience, it's like you have to go to Charles' site, because it's just it's a treasure trove. It just brings you right back.
Yeah.
And it's something to share with your children, too.
And if you're going to take a trip, get the book, because it tells you where to go and where to look. These are fabulous places to visit.
My recommendation is that if there's a car show and you're looking at this book, and this car show is near where Charles Phoenix was at, you got to go to it just to see it, you know. And your book just brings everything back. Charles, we got around 2 minutes left. But
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to mention? Anything you want to bring to attention to our audience?
You asked. A lot of my Facebook followers enjoy my Charles Phoenix Joyride videos, which I highlight different cars of the late 1950s, mostly thin cars.
Great.
Love it.
And you can go on my Facebook, and there's I post a new video almost every day of a classic car, and it's fun to kind of I kind of tell you about all the unique features of the car, which makes, you know, like, for example, a 57 today. I published a little video I made of a 57 DeSoto Adventurer.
Yep.
That was the high performance, the high price DeSoto that year. They're very rare. I recently ran across a convertible, and it happened to be driving by me, so I said, "Slow down, you guys.
Wow.
Let me make this video while you drive by." And I was able to circle the car and show off some of the unusual features of the car, like the triple tower taillights, which are so epic on the 57 DeSoto.
Right, and you just did one.
Anodized aluminum wheel covers, which are standard equipment. Of course, that's a car that has a push-button transmission and a Hemi engine under the hood.
Oh my gosh!
So I'd love to put these cars up on a pedestal and tell people all the reasons why they're so wonderful, and just, you know, kind of really highlight what's special about American culture. And you know, people love it, but it really kind of does need to be spoon-fed to them.
Well, I'll tell you,
you know, because it's not just everywhere around the corner. And but it's out there, and I go in search of it, and I serve it up on a silver platter, and I tell you what's unique. And if it's a place to go, I say, you know, here's where to go, and here's what to see when you're there, and here's what to do when you're there. And when you've done that, you've done it. You can leave, and you've had the experience.
Well, Charles,
not so much wherever it is.
We have to go. You have allies here in North Carolina. Anything we can do to help promote your book. Next week, Charles' book will be up with a link to where to buy it. And for our radio audience, visit us at everycarhasastory.net. Charles Phoenix, thank you so very much. This was the highlight of my day talking to you. Thank you so very much for your time.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate your interest and your support.
Anytime. Got to love those Etzel station wagons. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Phoenix. Go buy a book.
Yeah,
buy several.
It'll be on the website. Who are our guests next week?
Our guests next week are Fireball Tim.
Oh, Fireball
Tim is back.
Oh,
that's right.
Great
there.
Stories, yes.
So we'll be back next Thursday at 1 on Facebook Live, Saturday afternoon at 2 on the Big Talker 106.7. We're heard worldwide. This is JoepeP. Dusty. So remember, hands at 10 and 2 while driving that automobile. Take care. Happy motoring.
See you next week.